So I apologize that I'm not blonde and I'm not famous, and I think the only thing we have in common is that we both failed grade 5 math. Well, I'm guessing. But today, oh geez, I'm being videotaped here, I'm sorry. But today I want to share a problem that I've been really interested in for the last couple of years, and that is how should we use technology to change the way people learn? And if you didn't know that technology is reshaping the classroom and that we need to do it better, then you definitely know that now after all of these talks. But I want to suggest something in particular, and that is that we need a particular kind of technology. A technology that is designed for patterns of creation and creativity, rather than a technology that's designed for consumption. And let me explain to you why I think that's so important. I think a lot of us go to university, a lot of students go to university thinking that they're buying a service. So they walk into the classroom, they expect the information presented to them in this perfect, pre-packaged way, and then they come out of the 4 years with a degree, and that's how they see education. They think it's a process of consumption, rather than a process of creation and something that they make themselves. And this is a culture problem. I mean, we know that, but it's also a design problem, because the kind of technology that you design for a classroom actually influences the way people learn even before they start to learn. So I'm going to ask all of you to be designers with me right now, which means we're going to start with a little exercise in imagination. So I want you to imagine you're back in English class. And this is for Brian Cosby, especially, young Brian. And back in English class, and your teacher has just assigned you Macbeth. And you really don't like Shakespeare. I mean, it's really tough for you. And just actually, out of curiosity, how many of you studied Shakespeare in high school? Okay, and how many of you actually liked it? Actually, that's pretty good. I think if I was giving this talk to a group of 17-year-olds, we might get a different response. But anyways, you're back in English class, you open this Macbeth and you're trying to understand it, and you just can't get through the language. I mean, that's the hard part. And then when you come upon these words that you don't understand, you have to go to the back and look them up, and then go to the play again, and before you know it, you're just utterly lost in a sea of words. So what is the first part of the design problem? It's understanding. We need to find a way to break down those language barriers and actually get rid of the interruptions so we can get to the good stuff, the stuff that really matters about Shakespeare. And of course, you can just do some stand-up comedy. That's one solution. But we can also think of changing Shakespeare to make it work for us. And the first thing that we know from design research is that presenting information as text on a page is not actually the best way for people to actually learn it. Video, which incorporates both images and motion, actually is a better cognitive environment, a better modality for remembering and understanding than text on a page. So let's give our Shakespeare video. And the second thing we know is that inline annotations are actually easier to use than a glossary or footnotes, so let's do that. And lastly, we know that the people who really understand how to make Shakespeare amazing and creative are the teachers themselves. So let's allow them to add something to this application. And what do we get? Okay, so let me show you how this works. So this is our video Shakespeare. You see we have Macbeth, and the terms are on the side that we've added. Then if we want to view our Shakespeare, we just mouse over the video and it starts to play. We can watch the video and read at the same time. And if we're watching it, we don't understand a word, we just mouse off, it pauses automatically. We roll over the word and it gives us the definition without any interruptions. We also have opportunities to see the original text, a modern translation, and a bilingual translation, so we can have both at once. So it changes as the student progresses in their understanding. And the cool thing is, if we want to actually hear and see the word being used, we just click on it, and then it actually jumps the spot in the video where that term is. So we can actually explore the Shakespeare rather than just watch it in a line like we might do on YouTube. And so what we have here is a particular design environment that allows for focus while still allowing for exploration. So what have we done here? We've done something that no flat screen TV or PowerPoint presentation could ever hope to do. And that is that we've created a new cognitive environment for Shakespeare that actually allows for optimal understanding while allowing the student to interact and explore. And how have we done that? Well, we've used a web technology that's called Popcorn. And what that does, essentially, oops, what happened there? Oh no, technology fails. Is there a way I can get this to come up again? Guys, you can help me out? Yes, awesome, thank you. Okay, so the first lesson is that technology fails, but the way Popcorn helps us is that it changes video into a one-way information street, like you might see on YouTube, to a two-way conversation that can interact with the information. So that's what lets us click on the word and then it jumps to the spot in the video. And this is just a really simple example of how we might use Popcorn, but it shows that we can use that technology to make learning interactive. It can allow students to explore as they learn, and it changes with them as they start from beginners and become experts. But most importantly, all of that data in that application is actually the kind of data that can be typed in by a teacher or by a student who can add their own annotations or modern translations of Shakespeare. So it becomes an interactive web of learning that is created by the whole community. But not all technology is like this. If we think about the iPad, for example, I mean, the iPad is an absolutely beautiful piece of technology, and it can be used for creation. But I think what the iPad is designed around, what its ultimate goal really is to create the most beautiful consumptive experience possible, instead of the most wonderful experience of creation and self-teaching. So I want to leave you with one suggestion, and that is, instead of asking, how do we put more technology in the classroom? Ask, what kind of education do I really want? And what kind of education do I want for my children? Let's design the technology that makes that happen. Thank you.